If you ask any schoolchild which European landed in America first, they'll probably tell you this. In 1492, it was Christopher Columbus. This is untrue, though, as we now know that this momentous accomplishment was made by another famous explorer some 500 years prior. Leif Erikson, a Viking, was that adventurer. Follow my video till the end to uncover the facts discovered in 1960 by the explorer Helge Ingstad and his wife Anne. The Vikings were in power during this time. Vikings were similar to Columbus in their search for new territories. They subjugated regions of Northern Europe, Britain, Iceland, Greenland, and eventually Canada with their Viking longships. They resided in what are now known as Scandinavia and were courageous, fearless. Leif Erikson, the son of another daring adventurer, Eric the Red, was one of them. Leif was called Erikson, his surname is the son of Eric. This is where our story about the Vikings start. One day, while living in what is now Iceland, Eric got into a fight with his neighbor. After killing the neighbor, he was compelled to leave with his family and friends. The journey in their longships brought them to a place called Greenland. Greenland was cold. Basically, it was a frozen desert with no trees and little vegetation. Eric chose the name Greenland in an attempt to trick other Vikings into thinking that it was a beautiful place to live so that they might follow him. A group of Vikings who did decide to follow Eric were eventually blown off course. They came remarkably close to an unmapped land, which was most likely northern Canada. Eric's son, Leif, then bravely took it upon himself to gather a group of 35 Viking men and women and go and explore this land. They first landed on a frozen glacier, which they called Helluland or Slabland. Leif, however, decided to explore the oceans even further to the west, well beyond Greenland. Leif Erikson eventually touched down in what he named Vinland, known as North America. For hundreds of years, Erikson's accomplishment was honored in Norse myths and tales. The myth, however, became reality in 1960 with undeniable evidence confirming Leif Erikson, founder of the Americas. Helge and Anne Ingstad made an amazing discovery. They found a colony at the northern tip of Newfoundland in present-day Canada. The remains of 9 homes with distinctly Nordic architectural styles can be found at the location at Lonso Meadows. Additionally, Helge and Anne Ingstad demonstrated that the remains were from approximately 1000 AD, which is precisely when Erikson's expedition occurred. They also found artifacts on the site which further proved the truth of Erikson's story. In the United States, his achievement is commemorated every year on October 9th, and statues celebrating the great explorer can be found in many American cities.